Right, hello everyone, welcome back to FTRL and thank you for joining us for round 11, the penultimate round of season 9 in Division 1. We're at Bahrain tonight, so normally throws up a pretty interesting and lively race, and with championships possibly on the line this evening, I would expect more of the same. So joining me tonight, we've got a three-man team tonight, so myself, Pagani and Dan. Good evening boys, how are we?
Afternoon. Should be a good race. I'm not expecting any rain tonight, but you never know with cold masters.
Well, we've had rain here once, but that was on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I've had rain in Abu Dhabi in a 5-lapper once, but...
Now, I did say we had a third man. Where is he?
Oh, there.
There he is.
I haven't got anything to say yet.
I was gonna say he did introduce you, but you know.
I know, I kind of like, I forgot he said he's alright, so I'm alright. Yeah, he said it for me.
Alright, well, we're back at Bahrain, and interesting little stat. Bahrain was the first track we ever did a three-man commentary in FTRL. So myself and Dan were two of the members. Does anyone know who the third was?
Ravers?
It was indeed Raver's Revenge.
Was that season 4 when Ox and Mark were going at it?
Bonus points for Dan.
Yeah. I thought it was.
Yeah, possibly one of the most dramatic season finales we've had in FTRL's history.
Yeah, I seem to remember Podium Corner, and what we've since renamed as Bender's Bottleneck.
Well, no, Podium Corner still exists. It's turn 11, and we're about to see Dutch go round that. The Bendel Bottleneck's turn 12 or turn 13 at the top of the hill. Oh,
right, well, Team
Renault have cost each other.
Team Banana usually like to play it fairly close on track in the race and in qualifying, and to date it's caught them out, with Chicken Guy receiving a 5th-place group penalty for a collision with Cress. Lennon reminding us that he came third that season that you two were talking about. So.
He certainly did. So, honourable shout out to Lennon.
I mean, he probably won't hear you because he's already been at the pub today, so he's probably already drunk. So.
Well, he heard us talking about season 4, so...
Like to hear.
He'll have passed out by now.
Right, well, we mentioned championship winning permutations about tonight, so in both championships, drivers and constructors, the constructors one's probably more likely to happen than the drivers. So in the constructors, Mercedes would need to outscore Ferrari by 14 points, so that's Hugo and Bran outscoring Dutch and CJ. So 14 points, that will secure the title before we head to Abu Dhabi next week. And in the drivers, it would require Hugo to not score or only score 1 point, and Dutch take a maximum or at least 21 points. So if Hugo could get pole, I don't think Dutch could win it tonight, even if he didn't score a point in the race.
Yeah. Well, from what I've seen time trial wise, as I had a quick look before the session started, both McLaren boys are looking very quick over 1 lap round here. But we've seen Danny have a couple of issues with invalidations. It's quite a difficult track to invalidate around Bahrain, so hopefully he'll be able to set a time tonight. As I said, that he set to 1:36 and goes 9th, but he's on the medium tyre, so we'll let him off for a bit.
Well, interestingly, Remco's gone straight out on the super soft.
I think they're trying to trigger a couple of people to come back out on the supers rather than sit on the softs and do a comfortable one-stop in the race.
So Mr. Rover's Revenge is also on the super softs.
The thing is that Ravers needs those tyres. He's been struggling in practice, not enjoying this track one bit, and reckons it's probably the most difficult track he's done for no traction, so he's hoping he can sneak into the points again tonight.
Of
My cause
course,
is joined.
won't be qualifying tonight.
So I was watching Zach or Hugo come through Bendel's bottleneck, and yeah, I thought he was going for a ride off to the outside, but he gathered it up somehow. Looked very twitchy over the top of the hill.
We have Donzo and Peatman from Div 2
let's
saying
go
hashtag Team
second.
Rivers.
That's a very good lap.
Well,
yeah, compared to the mediums, but you know it's two tyre.
I was going to say
For Ravers, it's a good lap. I mean,
it looks good, but I believe when the boys do jump on the softs or the supers themselves, he may be usurped from second place. But
yeah, I mean Ravers might get a nosebleed because he's that far up at the moment, but
Yeah, I think when the other guys come, when the guys come out on the quicker tyre, he'll start free falling. Sadly for Ravers.
honestly, I thought people might have started off quality on the softs and then moved away towards the supers. I didn't think there were these many cars on the mediums so far.
I wonder if a lot of guys are going to play it safe on the strategy.
I mean, the fastest strategy I've found is the soft to the medium. Whichever way you do it, either medium to soft or soft to medium. I mean, you can make the two-stop work if you're quick in traffic. The only trouble is traffic in Div 1 is very quick traffic. So,
yes, that's a good point.
It's like, alright, so I know you come out in traffic, but like that traffic's going to go like a Tico or a chicken guy. Like, they're not the easiest people in the world to overtake when they're on the track. So, I mean, for me, one stop and track position is always going to be key. Bahrain does have rain in the title, but I would probably bet something quite large that it is not going to rain tonight. I mean, it is cold Masters, so I'll probably lose my house, but
Full wet race.
Well, we've got Cat returning tonight. He took a week off last week, but he's back in that Force India tonight.
It's great to see him come back.
And speaking of returning drivers, we've got Plexit's back, racing under the moniker of LR Betty tonight.
However, I will still call him Plexit.
We will still call him Plexit because
it's just muscle memory for me.
Yep.
When you mentioned Cat coming back, he's jumped ahead of Ravers into second place in the 26.8.
Remco's improved.
Going quicker for fun.
Cat's up there, 10th quicker than Ravers.
Got blue squabs in the chat. How's it going, lads? I'm pretty well, thanks. I believe you'll be joining us very soon, possibly the next game. So, welcome to FTRL. Ta-da!
Have we announced dead thing on the YouTube channel?
Are you talking about the Div 3? In other words?
Yeah.
Yes, it has been released and said in said video from Aaron.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was mentioned at length during last week's streams.
Yeah,
that's the word I was
we had
looking
Aaron
for.
in the stream, didn't we?
Yeah, followed by yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. The next race after that day was we don't speak of that actually. We don't speak of Austria.
I tell you who's going to be interesting meeting tonight. That's going to be Bran. He had his first bad race of the season last week. After coming together in the race.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see how he bounces back. He's had a great season. I think he's currently D3 in the championship.
Yep.
Or did he drop down last week?
No, he's still third.
So D3 in championship. Had a... Did have 1 or 2 wins this season?
Yeah, I think he's about 40 points off of the top 2.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back, see if he can help clinch that Constructors' Championship for the series.
We have one car on track.
It's Raver's revenge.
Gonna be loving the screen time.
I was going to say, we'll be taking a lap with him.
Well, hell,
Dan, do you want to talk us through Raver's Revenge's fast lap on a set of supers?
yeah, sure. It is time to. Quite, yeah, it's alright. It's going into turn 4. Alright, a bit cautious. Going down the hill. Probably could have gone a bit quicker for a Division 1 driver. Oh, and he has a bit of a wobble.
Yeah, that you get too much on that curb, and it's horrible.
Yeah, start of Sector 2 is it's make or break for your lap, I think. Going down that hill. Just out of curiosity, gentlemen, have you begun any practice on Bahrain?
No. I think we spent too much time this last week pushing each other off of buildings.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, we just started playing Grand Theft Auto again, so... Right. But we're not typically violent people here in FTRL.
Hashtag AskComs. Sorry, Rihanna, cut you off there.
That's fine. Rivers bailed out with our lap.
Yep.
Hashtag AskComs. Dan, what's your inside leg measurement? That's from Tal.
Got a chicken guy saying, Simon, please check a message I've sent you.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Just occupy what you've asked, Tal. I'd like to know why, and also what that means. Is that like my inner thigh?
Maybe he wants to buy you a set of trousers, I don't know.
Maybe.
Might want to buy some golfing trousers so you can go golfing together.
He might be wondering if you're big enough to drive an adult go-kart.
Wow, I am. I'm quite about 5'11".
Well, currently, you've got Dutch and Panda sat on the exact same lap time in 8th and 9th.
Alphabetical order's gone out the window. Hashtag Team Ravers from Lord Carr. He gets a lot of fans, doesn't he, in the chat? He's got Donza, he normally has Panda, Goy. Would we say he has not a fan base, but one of the bigger followers or followings in Division 1?
He does, but I mean it's not all necessarily a good following that he's grown over time, but I mean it'd be interesting to see how he does on the first season of the next game. Will he get used to using a wheel and will he get used to using more traction?
Well, he's someone who got the beta, so there isn't really any excuse for him to not do well.
Look, where's Danny been? He just rejoined the lobby.
Um, I don't know. Start of this game, he was very quick, a lot quicker than everyone else in Division 2, it must be said. But as the game has gradually gone on, a lot of people have, you know, caught back up with him, and I suppose Division 1 was kind of a reality check for him, I guess.
Well, we're into the last 2 minutes of the session, and everybody's either out on the supers or the softs. And currently, Hugo has put into P2 on the soft tire.
Top 3 before we get them set, guys, predictions?
I think Remco's got P1 on lock. Possibly Dutch P2, Plexus P3.
Okay. No Tico in there? Surprising.
He's had a few tough races lately, so...
Who gets 4th? Brown needs a good lap here for the constructors. Coming onto the back straight. Up to the line. 6th. Just ahead of Rovers.
Danny's either lagging out the session or whatever did happen. He's not going to get another lap in qualifying, so he's going to be starting from 14th place.
Rovers coming up to the line. Doesn't improve, but he's got time for another lap. If he chooses to go, I don't think he is. No, he's not.
Well, Dutch is going slowly, so he's not going to set another lap.
Palmer goes 8th.
Hugo is on a lap.
Can Dutch's teammates help him out here? Ferrari need a good qualifying, preferably ahead of Hugo. No improvement.
Let's see what Hugo does. I mean, I can't see anybody beating him for 2nd place. Wait, saying that, you've still got Plex that's coming to line. What's it, P4?
Brown. Last turn. Can he improve? 6th. Above the Ferrari, so very good from him.
Got Crest running the line now. Had a little bit of slipstream from his teammate during this lap. Oh, but he's had a wiggle coming at the last corner. And that's enough for that lap. That wiggle coming at the last corner has cost him.
Chicken Guy will be last due to his 5-place grid penalty. Okay, gentlemen. Blue scopes. By the way, if you're wondering how I drive, I can be quite aggressive, so watch out, please.
Right.
Panda's left the session.
Hope Rivers left the session. Are we having a restarted lobby?
That's what I thought.
Right, I'm just going to bother Danny's car and it's crashing to the back of a Ferrari. So
We might get a restart here if Panda's not in.
I was going to say if Panda jumped out, he's a lobby host, so I would anticipate it being a restart. And with Rivers leaving as well, they're usually in a party together.
His internet went, referring to Will.
Oh god. So we have no idea who's hosting this lobby currently then.
I mean, I'm happy to.
Well, no, like if this lobby is going ahead,
Oh, right, yeah, I know what you mean.
it'll have latched onto some random person in the lobby and we don't know who it is and whether their internet connection's any good.
Please don't be Pagani.
No,
No,
my internet's fine.
Simon, are you there? Are you present?
Yeah, I'm present, but I'm sort of adminning at the same time.
Alright. Is it a restart? Or are we going ahead?
Then I think we might be going ahead.
Well, Panda is not in this lobby whatsoever.
Sling an invite.
The issue is if he's not there now, I don't think his car will be on the grid.
If his car ain't on the grid, I would anticipate it would be a restart. That's normally the only situation in which we'll do it. So we'll see what happens.
Oh.
Oh, Panda's joining. His car is not on the grid. There's a gap in P10.
Yeah, there's a gap in P10, his car's not there.
Am I right in saying that this is Raver's best qualifying of the season?
It could well be. Yeah, I mean, Dutch has got some work to do in this race. He's starting behind Brand's Mercedes. He's got some quick guys in front of him in the shape of Tico, Plexits and championship rival Hugo, not to mention the pole sitter Remco. And yeah,
Wait, admin chat is suggesting a restart, so that's what it looks like it's going to be.
yeah, I think we're going to restart this lobby. So we'll just check what tyres the top 10 are on.
Yeah, I've got a screenshot of it.
So if anyone tries any sneaky tactics.
Yeah. Well, this is going to play into Matt Corzan's. He'll be able to load a setup when we restart the lobby, so...
Yep, and in typical restart lobby fashion, there's carnage.
For everybody that doesn't know, this is how open lobbies end up at turn 1. Hence why we league race. I mean, Danny's gone the wrong way. Yeah, this is why we don't usually stream open lobbies. So.
I mean, fair play to Crest, that's probably the fastest disqualification I've ever seen.
I was wondering why it wasn't letting me quit the session, but that's because everybody in the session had either retired or been disqualified, so I actually got a podium. The race was 53 minutes 18 seconds and Matt Cause won with a one stop.
From last on the grid.
He did indeed.
Let's see if he can repeat that.
With Coandy second and Dutch in third. Now if that happens in the actual race, I don't know what's going to happen, but something might explode.
Breaking news. Dutch Trick's pedal has broken.
Oh no.
Now
Oh,
that's
no.
interesting, because didn't Dutch have equipment issues at the end of last season?
He did. His actual wheel was not working. He had no south centre on his wheel anymore. I mean, it didn't factor in. He still won races with the thing broken. So, however, pedal issues. I mean, you've gone through some pedal issues in the past, so.
Yeah, I've had one or two.
Not the most fun to try and race with, I'm imagining.
No, it made life a little bit difficult. It was it was a
breaking
throttle
news. Sorry to cut you off, Si. Dutch Trick's throttle is also broken.
Yeah, that was the issue I had. Was a busted throttle pedal.
What was it only giving you like so much actual? You were going flat chat and it was
Yeah,
giving like
I'd
30% or something.
that's it. I had my pedal, my foot, like on the floor, and yeah, I was only getting maybe 65-70% throttle out of it.
Yeah.
So for Bahrain, it's normally like sunset, isn't it?
Well, stick it on official and you're good.
Oh right, I didn't even know that was an option.
This is why Dan doesn't normally host on lobby.
Yeah, that's a good point you make there. Vehicle damage full.
Why don't you just invite Si to the lobby and he can check it over?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, nice one.
As our head of F1, I believe he can do the job.
I like how you said F1 because you're head of GT. There you go. Right, we'll set the track to Monaco.
Yep, full wet round Monaco, that'll do.
Then I still think Dutch would win even with a broken throttle pedal.
Assist restrictions. Pit assist off. Pit release assist off.
I mean, all the settings that I can see at the bottom there look correct.
Pit assist off, pit release assist off, ERS mode manual.
Yep.
I think that's it really. Forgive me if I've got anything wrong. This is my first time setting up a lobby. If you guys could invite people, that would be great.
Well, Has Aaron set one up? What's going on?
Oh, 7 people are in there.
I do hope that Aaron realises it's not Australia.
I don't know. I quite like Australia. Even more so if we see a recreation of Alonso's crash with Matt Coors being Alonso. Followed by some profanity inside that helmet of his.
Right, we'll now have a small delay while they set up the customised grid, so we don't have to run qualifying again.
I mean, we can use this time to advertise what we've got coming in the future, I suppose.
Yeah, utilise the time, go for it.
So tomorrow we have our Div2 race around Bahrain, and hopefully it's a bit more organised than this one. Yeah, Aaron is going to be his last race before he goes away on holiday, so he's going to be trying to wrap the championship up, but Lennon and Connor are going to be fighting him every step of the way, I believe.
So I did do the maths, and I believe he needs to outscore Connor by 6 and Lennon by 13.
It's going to be a very difficult task, but
Yep.
I mean, Aaron's pretty good around Bahrain, so Wednesday we have Challenge Championship, but that won't be streamed. Thursday we have Le Mans GT Sport, one-off special event. But again, that won't be streamed. Friday, GT Sport.
Maybe it will.
Well, Friday we have GT Sport rounds 3 and 4, and they may well definitely be streamed because of our core commentator, Mr. Dan. He doesn't have a surname, he's been called Dan.
Sound like Lieutenant Dan?
Yes. I mean, you said he was short, so obviously he has no legs.
Oh wow. As long as I get my ice cream, I'll be alright.
So, you may well be seeing GT Sport content on this channel in the very near future.
I'm looking forward to streaming that. I know nothing about GT Sport, but I chat waffle anyway.
Well, if the rest of the season goes like the first 2 races did, they should be quite enjoyable to stream.
Okay.
There was a
Thank you,
fantastic battle in race 1.
Could you just inform us who won races 1 and 2?
Flying Throne won race 1 and Joe Burns won race 2. Ooh, excuse me.
As you're both in the league, whilst I've got you both here, would you say that Joe is the favourite to win the championship? From like talking to the drivers.
I don't think he's anybody's favourite for anything. No one likes him.
Oh.
He's a bit triggered, and being back-to-back champion, he thinks he should have glory greatest because he's an esports team.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people would probably suggest that Joe would be favourite heading into that, but I think he's probably seen and realised that it's not going to be an easy job taking a 3rd title this season.
Breaking news. There's more news on Dutch tricks, and I quote from the Dutch man: "My pedal is broke, and the pedals from my old wheel won't connect. I can't race anymore, I think." thank you very much to my source, which was Terry Fisher, who actually sent me a message saying breaking news. Sorry about this delay as well, guys. This is well, this is quite the delay, isn't it, for us?
It is indeed. It's probably the longest delay we've had for a while. But
Yeah, I think
I know
there's
how tedious it is.
a slight sort of questioning over the penalty that Chicken Guy received.
If we
I've
can get some. Sorry.
I've just seen an actual video of Dutch's throttle pedal, and yeah, it's buggered.
Okay.
That's my technical description.
Yeah, that's broken.
If we can get some hashtag Ask Comms whilst we're waiting,
I
that
mean,
would be brilliant for the YouTube chat.
did the Div2 People's Champ Goy Karp not have a similar issue with his Thrustmaster pedal, where he
Yeah, they're not
snapped a spring?
They're not very reliable, are they, Thrustmasters? I mean, some are, some aren't. It's a bit of a gamble. Oh, Joe Burns with a very, very controversial statement, and I quote, "What a way to lose the title with a broken pedal."
Wow.
Is there any way it can go back to a controller, maybe? Oh, huge.
Right. We have a wheel user in said party, right? So, what would it be like if you went from your wheel to a pad? What would happen?
This league race would turn into an open lobby.
Okay, right.
If it was me, but Dutch is a far more talented gamer driver than I am, hence why he's a two-time Div1 champion and I'm not.
I mean, there's a lot of people making the transition from pad to wheel, especially for the new game.
I may be one of those as well.
For those that are wondering why I just broke into a bout of hysteria, Mr. Goikarp, the Ferrari Div2 driver, has come up with a conspiracy theory that Mercedes have gone round and broke Dutch's pedals, and they are also responsible for breaking Mr. Goikarp's pedals earlier in the season. Si, you're a Mercedes driver. Do you wish to comment on said conspiracy?
I don't believe the Mercedes drivers would resort to such underhanded tactics.
I disagree. Looking into the constructors, if Dutch cannot race, it's going to be really hard for CJ to kind of keep Ferrari in the constructors. Am I wrong in saying that, maybe?
This could play very well into the Mercedes' hands, both tonight and tomorrow. Because I believe for tomorrow Mr. Goikarp can't make the race, and that may be a hostage situation from Mercedes personnel as well. So, I mean, don't want to say anything, but Mercedes are looking a little bit guilty. That's all I'm saying.
Well, Goikarp's being held captive by work, not Mercedes.
Right, Peteman, do we think that Ravers can one-stop from the super softs to the mediums? Judging by his practice earlier. I'll take
Well,
that laughter as a no.
not doing any practice. I'm not the best person to ask, but I believe it's very difficult from the supers to the mediums. However, we are talking about the best of the best drivers in Div 1, so somebody may try it. Oh,
Okay,
we have drivers
you are
ready.
ready enough. Donzo has hashtag AskComs. Can you tell which countries are represented in all of FTRL? Well, we have England,
That's the only one that really matters, isn't it?
Netherlands,
We've got French,
Denmark,
Danish,
French.
Finnish.
When you ask what countries, are you talking about the countries that Rivers himself just represents? Because Rivers has represented many countries this season.
Ravers doesn't represent a country, he represents the people.
Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, Ferrari sources are now claiming that Mercedes had Goikap's work schedule changed so that he couldn't race tomorrow. So,
Wow. Mercedes.
Yeah, we're about to discover there's been some leaked emails.
I mean, we saw what happened between McLaren and Ferrari back in 2007. So, I mean, could there be £100 million fine coming to Mercedes? That's all I'm going to say.
I hope not, I've barely got 100 quid.
I mean, personally, I think Aaron might have to pay it as it's his league. This has happened in. So he has to compensate both parties.
Yeah, that's when he messages the admin chat for donations. All those times he's removed me, I'm just gonna leave.
Yeah, we ask for donations to the league to represent legal fees insured by Aaron Taylor for actually running the league.
For using copyrighted music in trailers as well.
Right, well, we've got a formation lap underway.
Well,
we do, and Dutch is in AI mode, so he's not fixed.
It has occurred to me, gentlemen, that Remco is not in the lobby, and he should have been on pole.
Good spot.
So that would make a Mercedes driver pole.
The conspiracy theories just keep on coming.
I was going to say, who gets the
Remco's
point
been
for
held
pole
captive.
now? Does Remco still get that point? I don't know, it's going to have to be discussed, I believe. Dutch Tricks is no longer under AI control.
Yes, but which method of control is he using?
I think he's actually got into the car at this point. He's just fed up with it. Do the tyres match, Pagani? From what
I mean, from memory, I'm looking at them and I think they do.
Yes. I'm just trying to look at Dutch's inputs to see if he's on wheel or pad.
breaking news from Danny _BLK. He has forgot to put a setup on.
That sounds like the Danny that I know and remember.
Running
And
6.6 wings in Bahrain.
Remco is not in the lobby because he has had internet issues.
Wow. More news.
So Mercedes are now breaking people's internet to win this championship. It's not very sporting in my mind, but...
Oh, Cat's second. Definitely his best qualifying of the season.
Yeah, but he was going to start third, but with the fact that Remco's not here, everyone's gained a place because the original pole sitter's not here.
Prediction. He predicts snow by lap 10 with everything that's gone on tonight.
I wouldn't put it past Codemasters on this one. Right, we have 5 red lights in Bahrain and we can finally get round 11 underway. There we go.
Will Cat get his customary good start on the softer tyres?
He's got the inside line for turn 1. He's up the inside. But Hugo holds the lead.
But it is possible to make a position into turn 3, turn 4?
Oh, he's taking a look round the outside.
Oh, dive bomb from CJ there on Ravers. He's dropped down a couple of places because of that. Oof.
Dutch and I believe it was Chicken Guy coming together.
It was, yeah. All Ravers made contact with Dutch. Just a little spin.
Oh, Danny's round. Kawandi's gone wide at the off-cambered left-hander. Oh, Plexit
is round. Yep.
And immediately left the session. Okay.
Well, Brian is up to 4th. We spoke about how disappointing his race was last week. Looking to make amends on the soft tyre.
Tico's going to have a look. Well, I thought he was going to have a look at Cat into the final corner.
I believe Danny might be repairing the car.
Panda's got quite a comfortable gap over Dutch as well on the first lap.
We've got Lee from our GT Sport League supporting Panda, his teammate.
Well, Panda is currently up 4 positions from his starting slot. Matt Cause is up 5. So, making the most of others' misfortunes.
Got Neat back in the chat, hashtag Team Ravers.
Ravers, it's a beautiful move around the outside. Wow.
I believe Dutch has had to remap either his wheel or he's running on a controller because his throttle is now R2. So he's either on a pad and it's R2 or he's remapped something on his wheel, but he appears to be struggling for traction. It does not look comfortable at all from our back-to-back champion so far.
I was going to say, if he's remapped that on his wheel, his throttle input button is going to be moving around all over the place.
I mean, we spoke about the championship, but it's also a good point to bring up the relegation battle and how much the drivers need these points. For example, Ravers in 8th.
Well, we don't really know what's going to happen with relegation, because as it is at the moment, I think we've only got 16 drivers committed full-time to Div1 at the moment.
Okay.
Which would leave 4 empty spaces behind them for the 4 guys coming up from Div2, so there may not be a relegation battle to speak of. Hence why we've not mentioned it to this point.
Speaking of which, he's gone off onto the gravel. Sorry guys, I don't usually commentate.
Oh, contact! Between Kawandi and Cress has put Cress in the wall.
Not the first time the Renault's had contact on the weekend of Bahrain.
Well, Ravers, the man that normally speaks of there being, you know, no retirements or he'll curse someone in some way, has been cursed by our returning commentator Dan.
Yeah. Bran up into 3rd, both Mercedes in podium places.
CJ's looking quite racy at this stage behind Tico.
Gotta be said, the gap between Panda and Dutch is huge.
I will say Matt Cause is catching Dutch.
Brand's had to go defensive on Tico, down to turn 1.
All bit of contact.
Gives him the Brand gives Tico the Verstappen out towards the outside of turn 1.
CJ's
They're going to go 3 wide.
CJ's lifted off.
Tico with the switchback.
Oh,
Oh, Rivers is. I don't know if he's lagged out or.
no, he had front wing damage there.
Well, as it stands, with Crest retiring, Plexits and Ravers both leaving the session, I believe that leaves us with 11 runners.
Oh, unless Rivers can get back in the session.
Well, Brand's back up the inside of Tico, going round the Bendel bottleneck. He's got the outside line, and he's made the move stick. Good driving from the pair of them there. And while this battle's going on, Panda's latched right onto the back of CJ.
Dutch sticks up apparently.
He's not comfortable in that car tonight whatsoever with these technical issues. If he survives tonight with a point, I think he'll be happy, but it's not going to help him in the championship race whatsoever.
DRS for Matt Cause.
Got Tico up the inside of Brand again. Dutch, CJ's put his nose in there as well.
Yeah. Oh, Dutch is spun at turn one.
Round. He's in P11.
He's retired.
He's retired the car.
Technical issues getting the better of him tonight.
Yep, Hugo would have seen that message pop up at the bottom of his screen. And he'll know what the score is now.
Oh, yeah, I've just seen a message from Dutch. That's not a very happy Dutch in the chat.
So, as it stands, if Hugo was to win this race, he would have an 18-point advantage heading into Abu Dhabi next week. If he was to get the fastest lap as well, that would become 19 points.
My source once again comes through with breaking news. Wheel problems for Ravers. That is why he has left the session.
I was going to say, I was on board with Rivers just before he left the session, and it did not look right at all. He was going down to the off-cambered left-hander and steering right. So, couple of technical issues tonight.
Oh, there's a touch.
Nico just sitting in the middle of the track there.
Brand's going to have to go the long way round.
Round the outside.
Yep, Tico's not going to allow him to switch back. And Bran has driven clean round the outside of Tico. There's a bit of contact, but
that's brilliant from him.
He's got the job done.
So,
this battle, I've got to say, is pretty damn good.
Well,
DJ
I have the
and Panda
feeling
biding their time.
that Panda, yeah, I was going to say Panda's biding his time. He's got fully RS, where everybody in front has got less than half. He's waiting to see what happens.
I was going to say, he'll be saving up all the toys at the moment.
I was going to say, we know Panda is a racer that uses his head more than anything else, so he'll just be chilling, letting them fight. Saying,
I don't want to jinx Will,
I know what
but he deserves a good race.
Oh, you've got Matt Calls up in P7, coming under threat from Chicken Guy behind on the softer compound tyre.
I don't usually say this, but Matt Corns had a good race so far, 14th to 7th.
There it is,
Even
you
with a few
said it
guys
now.
with issues.
Tico going to send this into turn 1.
Plan looks like he told it there.
Yeah, Brand knew it was coming. And he immediately goes defensive for turn 4, moves back to the racing line.
Cat is still on the supers after 7 laps.
We've lost Danny now.
Danny's not like that.
So
No, man, catching Cat.
So Hugo's now extending that gap to Cat, and Cat's really starting to fall back into the guys behind. So, like you say, those tyres are probably beyond their best now.
He won't be able to go flat out through that corner. Yeah, podium corner. As quick as everyone else behind him. And it is noticeable as Bran has got 5 tenths on him.
I mean, I'd anticipate Cat coming in between now and lap 9. And what, that's 21, 22 laps on the medium tyre? Oh, okay, so Danny has, I said lagged out, but he left the session because he's going to go watch Love Island. I mean, that sort of explains it all.
Right, Bran's right in the back of Cat, and he won't want to take too long about getting past him because the guys in front will sniff an opportunity if he dawdles on it.
Like I say, this is Hugo's race to lose now. Got a 6.5 second lead.
And of course, as it is, with Dutch being out of the race, Ferrari really needed to collect as many points as they could on the Mercs. The Mercs only needed 14 points to secure the Constructors, and as it is, they're going to pick up, with Bran moving into P2, that's 37 points. And with Cat's gone!
Oh, Bendel bottleneck claims another victim.
Always right on the racing line there.
Yeah, he said those tyres were going. I wonder if he's taken them one lap too far. I made that mistake in the Div 2 race last season, not on the super soft but on the soft tyre. Took it one lap too far and it cost me at the same corner.
That cause slowed right down for that.
Tico follow up the move at the turn 1. Is he going to... Bran goes for the normal racing line. And Tico doesn't send it, so...
So further back behind Matt Cause, we've got Chicken Guy and Co-Andy queuing up.
So will Bran be able to keep the gap constant to his teammate, or is it Hugo just going to keep pulling away? I mean, if you're Hugo now, you just sort of rest with the gap you've got and don't overwork the tyres too much.
We do actually only have 8 running drivers who are actually being controlled.
I'm noticing similar sort of grading on everybody's front left tyre.
Yeah.
Obviously it's the most used tyre on this track.
I was going to say, it's
anticipate
going to take most of the work. Now I'm wondering if this battle over P2 will just calm down for a lap or two, because they'll be approaching that pit window. Brand and Tico especially have worked that soft tyre pretty hard on this stint, battling one another.
I mean, Kawani and Mako is going to be quick towards the end of this race. When they both pit and probably go to the soft tyre. I don't know, Panda's just had a rough last sector, but he's dropped back 4/10 in that last sector.
Dig around the outside this time.
Oh, he got the move done, but he left the track to do it.
Run round the outside again. And he does it again.
So almost a carbon copy of the move he pulled a few laps ago. Or a Tico with a wobble.
CJ's getting ever so close to Tico now.
He's almost pushing Tico down towards turn 9.
Tico locks up a bit. Yeah, that's now. Tico pulling away from CJ.
Nope. Well, in the chat, Drinky Sport reckons Cat was tapped, and Cat says T4 tapped him. In which case, send your footage to the stewards, Cat.
Well, Co-Andy's got ahead of Chicken Guy while we've been watching this, and we've got pit stops.
Brandon CJ. Pit lane.
Tico's picked a penalty. Dealing track limits.
Now this could work out nicely for CJ if he can get that tyre switched on. He might be able to undercut Tico.
He might, but you come out the pits and there's a
Not sure.
2-second gap between Brad and CJ.
Yeah, I think CJ got held as Bran was leaving the pits. Where the Ferrari box is right in front of the Mercedes box, and they came in quite close together. It looked like the game just held him. As Tico slides his way through turn 10. I've got to say at this point, Panda's tyres, he seems to have the better traction at the moment. Having not worked, he's chilled out on that tyre behind CJ.
You say that, but Panda was on little corrections through Bendel bottleneck. He's on the edge still.
Right, well,
Oh, Hugo's
in, Tico drifts
Tico
it through the final
sideways,
corner.
yeah. He goes in, Panda's in. But you would think that Brandon CJ would have gained time, especially on Tico, with that rally cross tending to the lap.
Right, Tico's on his way down the pit lane, as is Panda. Bran and CJ are on the start-finish straight.
Brandon just got past that finish line.
Tico's ahead.
Panda has jumped CJ.
But Tico's going to be on cold tyres, as is Panda. Will they be able to hold on to these positions?
So interestingly, the overcut worked. But like you say, with the tyres not up to temperature, and the guys that lost the position having an extra lap, should have the advantage now.
CJ.
Brand trying to push back on Tico.
Yep, the traction. He's going to be hung out on the outside though.
It's not a corner you want on the upside of. Lee is still supporting his teammate in the chat. Then nice work, Panda.
Ran up the inside onto the podium corner. Yep.
I don't know what happened to Chicken Guy, but since he's pitted, he's now 15 seconds behind Panda.
Matt and Co-Andy battling at the moment.
Yep.
I mean, with there being so many DNFs, it's a good chance for the guys that don't usually get a couple of points to get some good points on the
I was
board
going to
tonight.
say, you've got these two on the reverse strategy as well, so like Pagani said earlier, they're going to be a bit quicker towards the end.
I mean, Hughes was just in cruise control, but that cruise control is about 3 seconds faster than anyone else currently. He's
I was going to
flying at
say,
the
he's got
moment.
10 seconds over his teammate in net P2.
It must be a nice feeling to know that he's that much quicker than and the car behind you is your teammate. Obviously not so much for you, Si, with having on the podium as your teammate. He doesn't really respect team orders, but you know, we'll go with that. I remember a Russia race to the pit lane.
Yeah, apparently there were no team orders.
Yeah. So even though 4 guys that were battling before have pitted, they're all still close together again. If Hugo sets fastest lap, that could be interesting.
Let's say just picking up every extra point he can, but Panda's nicked it off of him.
Panda. Tico around the outside of Brand at turn 1 again. He's tried this move a couple of times, pulls it off there, and then gets re-overtaken at turn 3.
Well, let's see how
very
this one
defensive.
plays out. He's gone round the
Gone
outside
round
of...
the outside again.
Yep, turn 4.
He's done
Job
it again.
done. And
First
this time it allowed CJ to draw alongside. CJ just had a little half look at Tico, so
Oh, I was going to say Panda is well in this battle, and it's around this time of the race where Panda begins to get racy. As long as he's got through the first section with no front wing damage, he's usually quite happy. So
I was going to say, it's like as the race goes on, he just gets more and more into his comfort zone.
yeah. Wendy, Matt Claus and Hugo are all together on track. I can't imagine Hugo wanting to get too much involved.
Almost into the back of Co-Andy.
Matt Claus is going to pit lane.
Yep, he committed nice and
Oh,
early.
Yeah, Hugo past Wendy on straight. Don't think Andy's going to fight it too much.
I say, Andy's a sensible lad, he won't fight this too hard.
Oh, Brian Tico again. Tico's got him before.
Oh! I was going to say there's a McLaren there, it's ghosted fortunately, but it has caught him out.
That wasn't what happened. Tico came across just before the braking zone and then braked, and Brian didn't anticipate it. It looked a very late moving brakes for Tico personally, but that's the one thing I don't like. So
Panda is really in the mix here.
Lee loving around the outside overtakes turn 1 and turn 3.
I'm happy, I've got a helicopter shot.
Now, if you get a helicopter shot of a switchback, we wouldn't see Aaron for days. So.
Oh, I do enjoy a helicopter shot. Especially when you've got 4 cars so close together like this.
Right, so, Matt Cause is 10 seconds behind Panda and currently falling away, which I didn't anticipate. I mean, obviously he's just come out on these tyres, so they need a little bit of warming up. Wendy's at the pit lane. But I'd anticipate him to be behind Matt Cause.
Tico's had a much better run off the final corner than Brand did.
Oh, Tico's it, Brand.
Yeah, Brand got a
Panda's
tag
got
from
leg up
behind.
here.
Yeah, Panda's looking good down towards turn 4.
And around the outside of CJ.
Oh,
contact!
there's contact.
Contact!
CJ came across.
Yeah, I think Panda backed out of that and just allowed CJ to get back on the track in front of him.
Andy actually came out in front of Matt Cause, which is surprising me. So the overcuts worked again. It's intriguing. Lee and
Hand up the
Chet-
inside of CJ. Switch back, maybe. Going up the hill.
Oh,
Bran and
Tico
Tico side by side. Yep.
Through Bendel bottleneck. Sorry, Bendel.
Well, they've done that. They've done that before. They've had practice. Panda's ahead of CJ.
Yeah. Lee, there's a lot of heavy breathing over the helicopter shots. Do you need a room? I believe that's a question for Sai.
I've got a room, thank you. It's my living room.
Tico again.
Yep, going back at Bran up the inside into turn 1, and CJ.
CJ's back past Panda, but doesn't stop for
He's
turn
gone
1.
deep. So now Panda back at him. Panda
Might not
got
be-
the better drive. Meanwhile, in
Brand's having
front.
to go around Tico again.
Bran.
They're on the outside again. Oh, Tico trying to squeeze him a little bit.
They're still squeezing.
Oh.
Oh.
They've done very well to get 2 cars through there side by side.
I'm just going to put this out there. We might not have many cars on track, but the cars that are out there are battling for their lives, and it's putting on a great show. I mean, Hugo is loving life. He's 14.5 seconds down the road.
Due to them two battling, Panda has made 1.2 seconds within the last lap on these two.
And we said the soft runners would be quick. Kawandi has gained a second on CJ since he's pitted.
Yep, he's towing Matt Cause along with him.
CJ running wide after Bender bottleneck picks up a 3-second penalty. But Panda is now making this battle into a 3-car battle unless CJ can get in the back. I mean, overspeed into turn 1 is something you've got to be very wary of, especially with the DRS.
Four of them two hitting each other again, Tico and Bran. It's going to give Panda a run.
Looks like Bran isn't going to get around the outside of turn 3 this time. Is it turn 3 or turn 4?
That's turn 4.
Lee saying, can someone tell these two it's not touring cars? Someone will lose a wing at this rate.
Well, synchronised power sliding from Bran and Panda out of turn 8.
Panda likes a good power slide in F1. Doesn't do it so much in GT, but he does like it in F1.
No, he's got a fondness for sand traps in GT.
Yeah, he made a few sandcastles last race, but don't we all from time to time?
Yeah, I decided I was going to check out the AstroTurf.
Twice.
But I enjoyed it so much the first time I thought I'd do it again.
It looks like CJ's struggling to keep on the back of these three currently. River's Ghost car's pitted again.
I mean, he could just be cooling things off a bit at the moment,
Panda's
just
had a
saving.
bad run, and CJ's got back on the back of them very quickly.
Yep, so Bran up the inside of Tico into turn 1, CJ up the inside of Panda into turn 1. Oh, there's a big touch, big touch.
Contact. CJ's got a massive run, and he's up to
CJ's got
P2.
all of them.
Tico's in the middle. Not really a
Panda-
place he should have put his car.
I said Panda's the one to come out worst out of that.
Well, Bran's the one that's come out worst of that. He's down in P8, and
Right,
I'm pretty sure he's got wing damage. He clouted the wall pretty hard.
He's missing that entire front right end plate. So damage again is going to cost Bran for the second race in a row. Well, Peteman's put in the chat this is going to end in tears.
It
I
just
wanna
did.
guess it did as you were typing it. But yeah, now CJ's in front. It's going to be interesting to see what pace he does have. Obviously, he's not going to catch Hugo unless Hugo has a massive issue. But I mean, Hugo's setting fastest laps.
I'd say he's just taking the fastest lap off of Matt Cause.
But what I will say is that Kawandi and Matt Cause, I mean, Matt Cause not as much, but Kawandi caught 3 seconds on the group in front because of that contact. And Kawandi does not have a penalty, so if he can get within 3 seconds and he's just set fastest lap.
Tico's going around the outside of CJ.
CJ again. Yeah.
Right, so are we going to see Brand stick the super soft tyre on?
You would anticipate so.
Yes, he does.
Yes. So Brand's going for fastest lap. So Tico got past CJ and has pulled away since he got past. But he's also used a lot of the DRS to try and get away. But he's out with DRS range. Did he do that before? He has done it before the line, so CJ does not have DRS, Panda does.
Panda's getting massive now.
To get the move done into turn 1. The move done before turn 1. And they're back in the range of Tico, so they get DRS for Tico.
What's going to be interesting is Tico had his fuel light on.
Oh.
So Tico's going to have to save fuel and energy, so these two might eat into that gap he's got. And yeah, Panda immediately within half a second of him.
And the gap between CJ and Kawandi's come down another second. Don't count Andy up for a podium yet. CJ's got a penalty, Tico's got a penalty.
Panda's had one warning.
I think Tico's trying to save a bit of ERS, but yeah, his fuel light is definitely on, so he's definitely on the cusp of running out of fuel. Well, I can say running out of fuel. We've got 0.0 laps of fuel, so you'll have to manage it to the end of the race. Panda does have DRS. Gone too far back on it, moving to turn 1 though. However, the movement to turn 4 might be viable depending on his exit. No, I think Tico's going to be safe for this lap. Yeah, Brand says fastest lap, but it's hard to see anybody beating that on the tyres that they've got left.
Yeah, Brand's not going to be a happy chappy in that Mercedes. There'll probably be some words after this race.
I was going to say that there's going to be a few incidents to the stewards tonight, I believe. Panda has had a very good run off the penultimate corner. put him in good stead for a run down the straight with DRS.
Yeah,
And
good run
CJ
there.
is claws back in on these two as well, so this battle isn't finished just yet. T4 defensive. Panda on the outside. Not a lot of space being left, but enough. T4 defensive again. Panda at the outside. I've seen the move being pulled on by Brian a couple of times. Panda for the switchback.
And that just didn't have the traction out of the corner.
It's a very difficult corner to set up a switchback from turn 4. With it tending to be flat on exit, it's sort of... But I believe out of these 3 cars, I believe Panda is the quickest at the moment.
Yep, I'm just watching that gap between...
Inside.
Yeah, as Panda makes that move on Tico, I'm just watching the gap between Andy and CJ, and it did dip below 4 seconds at one point.
Well,
I think the fact that CJ... Hold on.
Alright. Whilst this has all been happening, CJ has saved a bit of energy and has nearly half his energy back.
I was going to say, I think the fact that CJ is getting DRS twice a lap now is going to sort of equalise that gap that Coandy's got with fresher tyres.
Yeah, but you've got Andy driving in fresh air and there's 3 cars ahead of him battling quite hard.
Tico got the move done on the straight and CJ was thinking about going up the inside of Panda.
Yeah, I think Panda knows that these two have a penalty because he didn't really defend on the straight, he just kind of let them through.
Like I said, Panda, a guy that drives with his head.
Well, I believe the last 4 races Panda's actually had wing damage on the opening laps, so I think he'll be happy if he can get the podium tonight. Obviously, I think the win has gone, unless Hugo falls asleep at the wheel.
I don't think he will if he sees those fireworks at the end.
Yeah, they'll wake him up.
Tico is in hot lap, and his fuel light is back on, so he is pushing like mad to try and get out of DRS for Inja Panda.
He's got no energy left.
Coandy has 60% on his energy. And he's
And
maintaining it brilliantly.
Down to 3.6. He's going to be awful close to get the podium here on penalties.
Gonna have to make about, I'd say, within 2 seconds of them, and he 100% will get a podium.
Well, then Tico's got a penalty, CJ's got a penalty. So if he
It's
can get
whether
them
how
3
hard
seconds.
Tico's gonna push to get away. Nice helicopter shot there.
Oh, Tico with a bit of a wobble out of 10.
Pete was asking who's our money on for P2?
Panda.
Or is that currently Panda, yes.
Even if he doesn't get it on track, he's going to get it on penalties. As long as he doesn't
He's
do
been
anything
a little
silly.
bit wide the last couple of corners.
Just see if
People
Vic's
asking
born. He didn't.
Outside chance for Coandy. I mean, if Panda gets a penalty, then Coandy could get P2. I mean, he's got a little bit more to try and gain, but...
Nah, interestingly, Tico just got DRS off of the lapped Ghost McLaren. So that may have just saved him down into turn 1.
Was there another reason why we don't like ghost cars in the lobbies? Thanks for that one, Danny.
But He has got a decent run, but just bides his time.
Yeah, CJ's really kind of dropped back off these two.
Well, out of that leading quartet, CJ was the first one in the pit lane, so they're
Yeah,
starting to feel the effect of some tyre wear. I mean, it's only one lap, but I mean, one lap can make a hell of a lot of difference.
I say one lap too many round here, and we saw what happened to Cat. Although there may have been a touch involved.
Yeah,
But I know from experience, one lap too many, and yeah, you're asking for trouble.
But there's that many fast flowing corners around here that if it's going to go, it'll go quickly. So again, Tico's been pushing. We've got the gap to 1.1, so Panda is outside of DRS range. And Kawandi's dropped 4/10 in that lap, so are his soft tyres beginning to lose their edge, shall we say?
Yeah, I think he might be just playing it safe for P5. That's a really good result for him.
So that's good points for Andy.
I think he'd rather be sure that he's got some points rather than push too hard and end up like Cat.
But yeah, I'm starting to think that this might be it as far as on-track action goes.
Well, just to diffuse the situation a bit more, I've tried to look and actually go on the other boundary, so it doesn't really matter.
That might have played into his thinking.
Yeah, pick up a penalty that obviously we didn't see, and so.
Well, here's a question that hasn't been asked for a while. Who is your driver of the day?
Ooh. Mate,
Nico's got a massive red light. Sorry to cut you off there.
I would probably suggest Panda.
Yeah, I was either going to say Panda or Hugo. I mean, it's a dominating drive when he needs it most, isn't it?
Yep.
Hugo.
Yeah, I would say Panda just for the fact that he's really had some work to do tonight. He's been embroiled in a tense battle for 29 laps, and you know, fair play to Tico, CJ and Brand for the most part of that. They've put on a brilliant show for us tonight in a field that is unfortunately heavily depleted. But that's how it goes sometimes. But we've got Hugo coming around the final corner, and he is going to pick up 20 valuable championship points to give him an 18-point advantage heading into the final round in Abu Dhabi next week. It puts him in prime position to take the championship. Tico is going to come home in P2 on track. But Panda does get him on penalty.
So far, but I think a few of those incidents might be going to the stewards tonight. But that's just why.
So Andy P5, Matt Cross P6.
Ran was fully sideways through Bendel bottleneck.
Yeah, he's I think he's at the end of that tyre's life after, what's that, 9 laps when he crosses the line here.
Yeah.
It's not that it's news with F1, but my source has said, breaking news, I've been up 32 hours. So, that being FTRL hammer time.
What I was going to say is how much I'm still feeding you information.
Yeah.
So who needs an invite? Oh,
There
Brendan
is.
Lee. Oh no.
Brian getting the fastest lap with 128 dead.
Does Brendan Lee avatar just mean you automatically lose all your championship points though? Sorry to Brendan Lee, but... Right, Hugo Pando. Pando? Pando and Tigo. I'll invite Hugo on both of his accounts just in case. Just waiting on Hugo slash Zach to join the party and we'll set up our interviews. I mean, I have invited both accounts, so I might confuse them. There we go.
There we go. Hello. Right, well, if we've got our three podium sitters, we will begin. So, first of all, gentlemen, congratulations to all three of you on making the podium. Right, kick off with Zach. What can we say? That was a pretty much faultless and a bit of a cruise, really, wasn't it, in the end? Right, what went through your mind when at the bottom of your screen you saw Dutch Tricks has retired? I was going, yeah. His throttle pedal was just going straight to the floor. It's like there was no resistance from the spring, so he had no throttle pedal. So yeah, we don't know how he was trying to drive it in the end. Whether he'd remapped his wheel.
He used RT on his steering wheel too.
Yeah, and I said in the stream, if he was doing that, that's going to make life extremely difficult because his R2's going to be moving around every time he goes around a corner. So, yeah. Yeah, it's somewhat robbed us of the spectacle of what this season's been. It's been so close all season long. And we've now got, I think, the biggest gap that we've had all season. You go into Abu Dhabi with an 18 point advantage. Depending on who gets pole, you might need 5. Yeah, so a P7 next week would be enough, even if Dutch were to win, take pole and fastest lap. a P7 would do it for you. And if my maths is correct, I believe that you and Bran have just wrapped up the Constructors' Championship after that. CJ picked up 12 points, you've picked up 20, Bran picked up 5. Is it 13? I think 13 is enough on countback, because Bran, you've had the better results over CJ and Dutch combined, so I think 13 would be enough even if it was a tie on points. I was going to say, the battle that was going on behind you was incredible to watch, and it was lunacy at times. So I'm sure we'll hear more about that from Panda and Tico in a moment. But in the meantime, congratulations on a solid drive tonight, and yeah, you did what you had to do. So on to next week, and I wish you the best of luck.
Do you want to take it, Dan? Or?
No, I'll let you decide who you want to interview, man.
Okay.
Panda!
Panda.
You didn't get damage on lap 1. What happened?
I decided to brake a bit earlier if cars are in front of me. It's a great strategy.
Yeah. I think you probably had the best seat in the house to watch that battle, didn't you, for P2?
Yeah, I think it went on the entire race. Just I couldn't get my exit right out of the last corner, so I was just sort of watching them. But no, I mean, it was great to watch.
I mean, we were looking at it that you were just biding your time, using your head, playing it smart, just chilling, just let them take you to the route and you cruise on to P2.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, not really. I just couldn't get an X out of the final corner, unfortunately.
I mean, later on, say after the pit stop, were you aware of people's penalties around you and that you obviously didn't have one? So
I knew CJ had one. He'd had one for quite a long time, and then when I eventually got past him after about 18 laps, I checked on Tico's, and he had one as well. So I thought, well, this is just brilliant, then, isn't it? I'll just sit here.
I mean, we haven't seen you up the grid as much as we'd like to. Obviously, going back to that lap 1 damage you've had in, I think, the last 4 races.
Yeah. Yeah,
how would you... Oh, go on.
Oh, you go on. I was going to answer a question that you didn't ask. So.
I was going to ask, how would you rate your season this season?
Maybe a 3. I think it's a combination of my terrible driving and walls. But yeah, it's not been great.
Personally, I'd say the last 2 seasons haven't been your greatest. One through internet connection.
Yeah, I'm not taking responsibility for that one.
And then this season, just a couple of lap 1 incidents through either people braking early, just twatting you off, or are you hoping things improve for the next game? I mean, it's coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just have to see. I mean, no one knows really what's going to happen in the next game, so I might find myself right back up at the top or a little bit further down or back where I am, but we'll wait and see.
And last of all, I mean, obviously Ravers has had some issues tonight. We're not fully sure of what they were. Rumours of some wheel issues.
Yeah, his wheel just stopped turning. Unfortunately.
That could be seen as an issue, yes.
Yes, it's not a great one.
I mean, how quick Ravers drives on the circuit? I mean, he could probably still just go around, but No, having Rivers as a teammate, how's that been this season? Team
I mean,
stability and
it's good. I mean, he's always in the parties and things, so it's good to have, you know, a little bit of in-game or in-race sort of data going across. So that's good. And yeah, I mean, he's been a he's turned up to every single race. He's got off a few points, but I mean, let's be honest. The other option was Bottle, and he left after one race. So,
yeah, he's a very big bottle. I should put it that way.
but yeah, I mean, he left after one race, so Raver's still got more points in the end. But he's been good, and he's getting ever quicker on that wheel of his.
Well, congratulations on that P2, and I want to see you back in the podium next week.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, if we just do Bahrain every single week, I'll be there.
Well played, man.
Thanks.
On to Dan.
Congratulations on the podium, Tico.
Thank you.
I'll just go into it. First of all, you've been someone who has fought Dutch for the title, so you know exactly what Hugo's thinking. What kind of side do you lean on? Because I know you're friends with Dutch, but do you kind of want Hugo to win the title more than Dutch, just so Dutch would stop winning?
Nah. Yeah, it's nice for Dutch to win 3 championships in a row, but yeah, I really don't care actually who wins it. If I don't win it, I don't care who does. So.
Very sensible answer. Going on, like, comparing the season where you was competing for the title and then coming into this season, would you say, like, I don't know, maybe the results haven't been there? Have you lost interest? Are you just waiting for the new game to, you know, release your pace once again? What's the plan for you?
During this season, I had school exams, so I couldn't practice that much, so my pace wasn't there as it should be. But yeah, on one point I was like 4 points off the lead of the championship, so I bottled it a bit. But hopefully next season it will be, I will be fast again.
Yeah, these things happen. Looking into the new game, who do you see as, like, let's say your top 3 rivals going forward for your championship bid?
I think Dutch and Plexits, because at the beginning of F1 2018 they were my rivals as well, so I think they can pick up the pace fast on the new game and we can challenge for the wins.
Just talking about this race, you know, you had a good qualifying. It's been a
No, very bad.
well, from other performances you've had this season, it was up there. Obviously, with during exams as well.
Yeah.
But do you feel this P3 is like one of your better performances, or would you say it's just not up there for your kind of driving level?
No. I think it was one of my baddest races, also because I crashed out some people. I'm very sorry for that. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
No, these things happen, man.
Yeah.
But I won't keep you for the rest of the night. Congratulations on your P3, and
Thank you.
hope to see you next week.
Thanks.
Right, well, that's going to conclude Div1 for another week. So, 1 round left, Abu Dhabi, and that will conclude Season 9 and F1 2018 for FTRL. So, tomorrow night we have the matter of Div2 possibly being settled, but yeah, there's a lot for Aaron to do and hope for, as it's his last race of the season. And he really needs, it's 13 points over Leonard and 6 over Connor to go on his holiday relaxed and chilled over his championship thoughts. So, he's on holiday next week, so he won't be racing. So, like I say, that's why Aaron needs to wrap things up tomorrow night if he can. So, join us here on the channel, 8 o'clock, and see if Aaron can manage it or not. We'll see you then.